Welcome to Rauta's Black Metal Reviews. This time we go to Portugal with the band known Gaerea, which is obviously quite a big name these days, even though it's as new as 2016 and onwards. What makes this particular band particularly interesting is that within less than 10 years the band has been climbing up the numbers quite quickly. That is, compared to a lot of bands with, say, less career and yet even more albums. A lot of these bands have less followers and less audience and all that stuff. Now, my theory is, this is just one of them, is that this band is actually really, really good. The other thing is, obviously, when you're really active and also well connected within the industry, music one that is, those really do help the quest at hand. I've been following the band since the very beginning, when I got the self-titled EP, I think it was, back in the days for review, and I was like, man, this is good band. Now, the first album I missed, but that was more about, because of the label, really didn't do anything about promotional copy, or does, but not that much. Not as much as the previous label or the labels as later on, including Season of Mist, which is also the label for the new album, Coma, the fourth album so far, and this is the 2024 release. Now, because I am already an existing fan of the band, obviously I went to listen this right away when I got the digital promo, and because I liked what I heard, I asked the label, could you provide me a copy, and thanks to them, here it is. And this one is no typical digi sleeve, not also a digi pack in a typical way, and I'll show you why. This is very, very beautiful, very intricate design, something that I haven't personally seen before, and trust me, I've gone through thousands and thousands of review copies over more than 20 years, but still, designs keep evolving, and voila, this is how it is. So when you open this cardboard stuff, maybe it shows you better this way, kind of comes out. So it opens and then it kind of pushes the CD here, which is then again easily removed. And unlike jewel cases and typical digipacks, there is no risk of, basically getting this scratched, because where it goes between, there is actually, this nice, cannot really call it a sleeve, but a narrow crack in a way. So it doesn't really actually get in touch there. Not that paper or cardboard is able to scratch plastic that easily, but there are some theories, like people like, I don't like digipacks because they manage to scratch things. And there is indeed a thin booklet, which is easy to miss. At first I didn't actually see it. When I was just playing the CD on my stereo, I wasn't even paying attention if there's a booklet or not. But like I said, this beautiful one, which really feels like a collector's edition, even though it's probably not, feels really special. So you have the beautiful cover, which is kind of a bleeding eye. Well, technically not bleeding blood, gore, whatever, but water. And on the other side of the top side of the eye, the iris and all, you will see this kind of a, can we call it city or city wall? I don't know, but very, very bizarre and nice cover. Inside you will obviously find lyrics and also the band photo, and this is the style what they're known for, both live and on band promotional photos, meaning they have their design, their unique tailored hoods with this kind of a almost like, how to say, symbolic design featuring runes or similar topics, and also fully black clothing, including black pants, black shirts, whatever, and this is how it goes. And if you have seen them live, this is exactly how they look, but very, very aggressive stage, and that is part of the thing which made me just like the band even more. So while they are, theoretically speaking, in the age of internet, all anonymous and all indistinguishable, by design and style and all that stuff, obviously there are information about the lineup and all, but still makes them, kind of unique looking on stage when you're seeing these guys and, well, women performing in their black attire. You cannot see the face and all that stuff, but obviously you can feel the energy with, lots of moving, good, aggressive vocal performance and all. But here we are not talking about how they are live, but how is the music of Gaerea now being here for about 8 years and 4 albums. Here is the Metal Archive site for Portugal-based Gaerea's Metal Archive site. And here you can see basic information including tracklist and all. Now, I know there are some negativity, aura of negativity around Gaerea, and probably that comes with the territory called success. So when you're successful, the more naysayers there will be. To be honest, I never got why Gaerea is getting that negative thing, but partially it might be two things. First of all, some people don't like when success is taking place, and the second thing is they are kind of against the grain when it comes to traditional black metal. That is, a lot of pagan black metal bands, for instance, go for very rural topics, the kind of fantasy attires. You can be Viking warriors with the swords and stuff, or, just about history and all. So, be it Viking helmets or some kind of a barbarian outfit with the swords and maces and whatever. And Gaerea, at least, for example, I did an interview a couple of years ago at Midgard's Blood, we're just saying that they're more about this modern life and more urban things, which is not that common topic when we're talking about or dealing with black metal altogether, because a lot of bands want to kind of romanticize the past, even if it's things like Black Death, the Plague, that is. There's some kind of a romanticism with the castles and all. You all probably know medieval black metal. But when it comes to more urban, nowadays modern black metal, an urban lifestyle, which can be really kind of a misanthropic and very cynical, it never gets that much of an attraction, and people probably see, at least some people, see like, this isn't black metal anymore, it's something too modern and all that stuff. Whereas I see, it's exactly that. It's way less romantic, way more cynical, which is like coloring me interested. But music first. And that's what really got me going with Gaerea. Because while their sound is somewhat modern, it's also fancy production, meaning the music is supported by strong drums, guitars, etc., as well as very aggressive vocals. I really like that. More importantly, the music is good, and there is a variety of things happening. Some of are more aggressive, whereas some are more soothing, atmospheric parts. And that is very much the story with Coma as well. I would go even as far as to say some of the ingredients here are more like post-black. Especially if you go for the less aggressive part, where things like tempo goes down and it's almost like less, that kind of tremolo picking black metal stuff, but something else totally. It's more like we're now flirting with post-black metal, not just modern third wave black metal, because this is not really anything like the first or second wave, yet isn't really the kind of a third wave, a dissonant style, which bands like Deathspell Omega or a lot of Icelandic bands are based on. But still, I would consider this modern style. And third wave, in my opinion, is very fitting, because this is not really mostly the post-black stuff, which is, and again, a little bit different than what I would call third wave. If that sounds confusing, don't get your asses or heads stuck in the mud known as the genre definitions or waves or whatever. What matters is that, yes, Gaerea is very much black metal, but not so much like kind of a traditional 80s or 90s style. So there's this modern things happening, and flirting with post-black metal can really put it in a little bit different box than a lot of other bands, especially those who write more like figure out we'll stick in the past 90s or early 2000s. Gaerea style, especially with Coma, which is, in my opinion, a small step forward from their previous style, is definitely heading to future. And obviously that is going to divide people into different categories. Some might say, okay, not my cup of anymore, or I'm not at least interested in that stuff. But for me, this is actually a good album. It's more like a reflection of natural progression in a way. You don't want to keep repeating and doing same album time after time after time, but kind of keep true to your roots and at the same time evolve, change a little bit, add new layers and all that stuff. Now, is this fundamentally like their best album or something totally new? Not in my opinion. Is this a step back? Nope. It's more like a sidestep, really. So, in my opinion, this is more like a good continuation, whatever they did before with the previous releases, especially 2 previous albums. And in my opinion, that is very refreshing. So it's renewing just in a little bit, but totally enough for the band to really change a little bit different than the previous ones, but still sounding like Gaerea. If that doesn't make sense, I don't know how to really put it into words. I obviously expect you to give this one a go and forget all the prejudice you might have because whatever people write on the internet. There are so many naysayers which are always putting bands down and saying like you shouldn't do this and that. And obviously sometimes I do this myself when I really am a little bit negative about certain releases. But first and foremost, I hope people will give new albums a chance despite what I think, because what really matters is that what you think about the given music. And for me, this is one of the better albums in year 2024. Not the top 10, I'll say that much at the moment, but top 20, yeah, sure. Definitely a good album for sure. And once again, it kind of proves that Gaerea is my favorite band from Portugal. That should be enough, or at least worth something. Feel free to disagree, obviously, but I think give this one a chance. Been out since October 25th, so almost a month now. Well, 3 weeks, give or take. And as such, you will find this on your local streaming services, or if you like physical products. Special packaging always wins. Off you go, enjoy Gaerea, and if you get the chance to see them live, do it. It's a great live band, seen it a couple of times, and man, I'm looking for more. Off you go, enjoy, bye-bye.